What's up, YouTube? Prof Sales coming at you on a Labor Day. Hope you are doing awesome. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. You're out barbecuing, I don't know, picnicking, just having a good day off from work. And if not, then hopefully you're working your butt off to become a better reseller. So let's see how we're doing. Got a few people in the room already. What's up? Having a good day off. Sounds like the sound's all right, so we will continue. Yep, in upstate New York, Mark says. So I hope everybody is having a great Labor Day weekend. I know I am. It's been awesome. And hopefully you've had plenty of good sales as well. Mark's in the room, says he has his store on vacation mode. There you go. Take a few days off, right? That's a good thing. Taking days off is good. Need days off. So today we will talk about a couple things, and of course I'll give you an update on how I did on the weekend, how things are progressing. This is my first full week with Karin working here and helping out in the business, so that's cool. And that's been going really well. So we'll just see if it continues to go well. Some people are starting to filter in. We got about 5 people watching, so hello, everybody. I know it's a weird time of day, but hey. You know, I just do these vlogs when the moment strikes me, and I don't know. We'll see. I posted a link in the Reseller Society, so maybe that'll get a few more people in here. Who knows? I mean, we usually get like 20, 25. But anyway, how's everybody doing? How's your business going? I see Mark's on vacation. Yvonne says she's only put in 4 hours on eBay. That could still be good, right? Depending on if they were 4 productive hours and if your store was set for success. I've been running a little sale, 10% off some of my older items. I don't think it's really worked. I don't really think I've sold anything, you know, really that great from older items using the sale this time. So I don't know. It was like 125 items. I don't know. You'd think you'd have a few sales on that, but I'm not sure. I did sell some shoes that I've had for a long time. And that was nice to get rid of those. I sold a Starbucks mug I've had for a few months, sent to the UK, where they'd asked me if I could send it to them without breaking it. And hopefully it'll get there unbroken. You know, you guys know how that goes. I packaged the crap out of it, but ultimately, you know, it's at the funny thing, when I was dropping that off at the post office, I had 2 bins full of packages from the last couple days, and this lady and this man in the post office were pushing this big, huge cart of packages, which I guess they had, and the outside box as well. I mean, this thing was big. It was like, I don't know, probably 5 feet long and maybe 3 feet high and 4 feet wide. And it was full of packages, you know, and I've got this fragile box right on top, this Starbucks mug to send to the UK. It's even fragile, is even written on the box. And you know what she says to me? This gives you the mentality. She's like, oh, just dump the whole thing in there. So, you know, it's just going to get dumped in there, tossed around. Hopefully it'll end up in one piece in the United Kingdom. But, you know, I think I mentioned this on the show back last week, that the guy had asked me, hey, can you get this to me and not get it broken? And I'm going, man, it's not up to me really exactly. I mean, I can pack it, but, you know, if they throw it against the ground, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's going to break. It's just breakable. But so let's see who else we got in the room here so far. Twisted Picker came in and said he had $1,000 weekend. Nice. What did you sell, Twisted, for that? What sort of items do you sell in general? Those are great sales. Mark says, did you use GSP? I did. It was not cheap. It was like, well, I guess it was not that expensive. It was like 18 bucks, I think, was the shipping. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 ounce mug. But it weighed more than that in the box. It was probably pushing a pound. Well, not a pound, but probably 10 ounces. But yeah, it was like $8.50 to ship to the UK, or $17.50 to ship to the UK, $18, somewhere in there. I don't remember the exact total, but you know, it is what it is. If it gets here broken, I'll just refund the money. I'm like, you know, it is what it is. But anyway. So Twisted had a great weekend. How about anybody else? Did anybody else have a good weekend in sales? Hopefully you did. I was doing you guys know me, I'm always adding stuff up. I was adding up how many subscriptions I have that are business related. I don't know about you guys, but you know, all these little subscriptions you have on the side for these different services, as well as your stores or Amazon or what have you, man, they add up. And I started thinking about it as like, you know, can I do without some of these subscriptions? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got at least 8 subscriptions. Now, 2 of those are eBay and Amazon, you know, so, but these 8 subscriptions I have total add up to about $200 and almost $240 a month in subscription cost. I was surprised it was that much. But I started thinking about it's like, can I do without some of these? And maybe I can. I'm thinking really hard about it. My Amazon business is not as big right now, so I could probably save on a couple subscriptions I have over there for, you know, third-party apps. And that would save me about actually save me about $75 a month. But, you know, all these subscriptions, guys, I mean, man, that hits your bottom line. I'm sitting there thinking it's like $240 a month, you know, that's, you know, what, almost, it's not quite $3,000 a year, but it's something. And I might even be missing 1 or 2. I've got to look a little closer, but you know, so look for those. I guess the moral of the story is look for those little, you know, they tell you when you want to go on a budget with your family or you want to go on your budget with yourself, start writing down everything you spend money on. Everything, even if you buy something out of a vending machine. And the idea is even just by the act of having to write it down, you'll be more conscious of it, which you do become that. But also you'll really start to see where your money goes. And you'll think, you know, well, I buy that Starbucks every day, but how much does that really cost? Well, if it's $3 a day, you know, that's $15 a week. That's $700 and some dollars a year. You know, it's not nothing. So you start seeing all these little areas where your money will really, that'll start eating away at your profit. And I'm seeing the same thing in my business. Like, so I'm like, you know, I'm going to try to find a couple of these that I can get rid of. Put that money right back in my pocket. And, you know, that goes right on the bottom line. It's just cutting expenses. You know, it's just, if I don't need them or I can do without them, I'm going to do without them. So I got to give it a little more thought, but subscriptions are definitely expensive. And that's not even including a couple other subscriptions, I'm sure. Twisted says clothes and shoes, and I'm a she. Okay. I didn't know if I said he or she. I might have said he. If I did, my apologies. Nice. That's great. $1,000. I mean, that's an awesome weekend for any business, really. Vino says, happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to you too, Vino. Happy Labor Day. Does that mean we should not work today? Today's been a work day for me. I don't know about you guys, but Karin has been really kicking butt on these photos. So I've listed 18 today so far, 18 pair of jeans, and I'm going to list at least another 12. But I don't know if you guys can see the old stock is getting kind of low over there on the black shelves. All those ones on top are actually listed, or excuse me, they're actually photographed. They're not listed. The shelf in the middle, right there, that one still needs to be done. And I think she's got one more stack about that size. But all the ones up there, they all have, it's kind of weird to do this with your finger. It's kind of counterintuitive. These actually all have been photographed. I just need to put them, or just need to get them listed. So the bottom line is tomorrow, Tuesday, we are going to go sourcing. And maybe we'll bring you guys along. I'm thinking about a couple ways to do that. Obviously, I can make a video again, like we have done before, a sourcing video. But we might do that. We could make some little Instagram videos, and I don't know. But we might even hit a whole new area tomorrow. We're thinking about going to a different city tomorrow and hitting it. We obviously could hit the Charlotte area where we live, but I don't know. So tomorrow, which is Tuesday, here in Charlotte on Tuesdays, like Goodwill's, for instance, that is so they get a discount off, and it really makes the stores really crowded. So it's not quite as much fun to shop those days. It's a little bit more hassle to get around. There's longer lines, which means you take more time to get in and out of the store. So we'll see. But tomorrow we're going to go sourcing, and we got to buy some jeans, guys. I mean, it's just that simple, right? Not going to get to 5,000 with 50 pair of jeans on a set of shelves. Thinking about too is that we're probably going to move at the end of this year. Our lease is up, I think, in January, and we've been renting a house, and we like it in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of things we don't like about it. So we got to think about where we're going to move. And there's some other factors that come into that calculation, where we're going to move, like school districts or area and expense, obviously. But, I got to think about what we're going to have for storage space. Will the beginning of the year be the time when I target and say, all right, now I'm going to rent a space, and maybe it's an office. We have an office / warehouse space we could use, but we're going to need a big chunk of it by the time this is all said and done. And I'm not sure if that's going to be possible or not, but maybe we will go there in the interim. If we do, that'll be cool videos. That'll be cool. I'll show you guys what it's set up like. There's a loading dock. I don't know what the hell I'd use it for right now, but there is one. There's just all kinds of advantages to that, but it would be nice to get it. But the disadvantage would be I'd have to go there every day. I'd have to work out of there every day. I don't know. Maybe that would be all right. What do you guys think? So we'll see how it goes. But all right, let's see who else is talking in the room here. I missed some people. Mike's already got $125 in sales. Nice. Yvonne's got 3 jeans, Versace, Cool, and Diesel. Nice. Very nice. Good brands. Get out of here, Jen. I don't know what that's all about. Mr. Steve Rakin in the room. What's up, Steve? How you doing, buddy? Cheaper to just get a bigger house / apartment. Yvonne says, yeah, you'd think that, but where I live is really kind of pricey. I mean, even an apartment would be a lot more expensive. The apartments here are not cheap. I mean, it's just crazy. But I just think that I'm going to be thinking about that. And Steve Rakin, you have some experience with an office and so on, so we can get your insight. But I'm definitely thinking, I need to do this gene experiment. I mean, I need about 1,150 square feet of room to kind of encompass all of it. I mean, that's a good chunk of a house. So it's like, as I start transitioning, I expect by the end of this year I'm going to be somewhere around 2,500 listings. That's a lot of jeans. And I'm going to need some storage for some that's, I'm processing and so on. I'll be processing more, of course, photo area, all that good stuff. So I'm probably going to need a good 500 to 600 square feet to house all that. A storage building is one option, but they don't always have internet, and they don't like if you're running a business out of it sometimes. Those are kind of tricky to find. I don't know. I mean, it's really going to be an interesting test. Will I have to go and get a separate building at the end of this year? I think I might have to. I don't know. So anyway, I mean, if you needed, ask yourself this question. If you needed 600 square feet, we'll just say it's a nice round number, 600 square feet of space to run your business, could you do that in your house efficiently and not completely disrupt your entire family? If it's maybe just you, that's different. But 600 square feet, that's a 30 by 20 foot room. That's a big room. I don't know, guys. We might get a smaller house, a smaller place, and use the savings towards a separate space for the business. That's an option as well. I don't know. I mean, well, we've got about 3.5, 4 months before we have to figure it out, but that's going to come quickly, and we'll have to be looking for a place before that. We'll really have to start looking probably late October. It's just, I mean, I'm going to be in that weird in-between transition. If I was at 5,000 listings, it's a no-brainer. Got to have a separate space. But if I was only at 500, you don't need a separate space. But when you're like at 2,500, let's see. Yvonne says, I took 2 bedrooms. Twisted Picker said, where did car and thrift in Ohio? She find anything good? Not much. She was in the Columbus area, and she was not really that impressed. She found a few items, but not many. Reagan says, that's why I moved to my new apartment, 700 square feet. Yeah, I mean, that's it, man. The garage is 600. Yeah, that's what I thought you were getting at. Yeah, the garage, I mean, that's huge, 30 by 20. I mean, that's a good size space. You could put a lot of your business in. And I've seen your videos, Steve, that's a good size space for a business, and you can run it out of that. My garage is not that big here, and we've got too much other stuff in it right now. But that's a possibility as well. But Yvonne says the best part of reselling is getting to be at home. That is a great part of reselling. You're right. But I will say, Yvonne, there is, and maybe Steve could back me up on this. I don't know. Maybe he has a different opinion. And maybe you other guys, if you've lived somewhere else, there is some advantage to going to work. Work's not the right thing. Going to do your business, because you get your mindset like, I'm here to do the work of my business. I'm here to work, on my business, not in my business, but on my business. And not so much that you're like, well, I'm going to go downstairs. Oh, wait, there's a TV and there's a show coming on I want to watch, or I'm going to go eat something now. I don't know. Everybody's different how they feel about that. And I have different feelings about it too. But anyway, Vino says you could reach out to Ronnie since he used to have a warehouse and got rid of it. Yeah, I mean, I talk to Ronnie pretty often. I haven't talked to him in probably a week or so, but I could, and I might do that. That's not a bad idea, Vino. I know he had a lot of environmental issues with that warehouse, which really made it difficult for them, and it was expensive, difficult for them to maintain it. But I don't know. I don't know if that's a good, I don't know. I mean, it's just one of these things where, like, I mean, worst case, if we get a separate place and it doesn't work out, if I can get a month-to-month deal, or if we can take the warehouse that we have access to and make it work, I'm not sure it will work, but I don't know. Let's see. Vaughn says, I guess if you want to be real big someday with employees and stuff, yeah, maybe. I've got somebody emailed me yesterday about with their VA. Somebody watches the channel, and their VA actually emailed me about, one to list for me. And, I guess they're in a different country and they would list really cheap, like 75 cents, I don't know, but 75 cents an item. I mean, that's not a bad price, I don't think. But I don't know that it's really worth it. It's not worth it right now, but it might be worth it 6 months from now. It might make sense. It might add value. I've been watching somebody, guys, somebody new, or maybe not new, but somebody that I've just encountered. There's a guy named Donald Miller who writes about branding and your story, but he writes a lot of things that apply to entrepreneurs. And he said that, before you go out and hire someone, you've got to make sure that they're doing something that's going to bring more value to your business. And basically that looks like one of two things. One, it would cost you more per hour to do it yourself, or two, their productivity is going to increase your overall hourly rate, even though you may not be doing some of the work they're doing anymore. And I thought that was kind of a cool takeaway. Like, you can look at them two different ways. And, if someone is listing for 75 cents or $1 an item, does that add value to my business? Maybe. It might. Sure. You know, if I can go out and source more items, if eBay ups my items again, say like 2 or 3 months from now, which they might, you know, maybe I'll go in and just, you know, I don't know, I'll go from 4,900 to 8,000 or 9,000. And it's like, all right, well, how can we blow this up into something monstrous? I don't know. I'm not setting a limit on it right now, guys. I'm really not. It's like, I just want to see how big it can get and see where I get. I don't know, but Yvonne says, Mike says he might start doing haul videos. I won't watch, Mike, because your videos are terrible from what I've heard. Prof, ever read this story about Linda stuff? I have not. I'm not familiar with that, Yvonne. Twisted says, that's where I'm from. She went to the wrong places. Goodwill suck here. Yeah, she didn't have a ton of time, Twisted Picker, honestly. She only really had, you know, an hour or two the last day she was there. A tremendous amount of time she had. But she did pick up a few things. She found a few Amazon items that were good, which that was cool. But anytime you go somewhere new, it's always a learning curve. You've got to figure out, you know, what makes sense and what doesn't. And learned it, you already have left the area. But we definitely think we're going to go somewhere different tomorrow. I don't know if we got anybody from South Carolina in the house. If you do, let me know. Give me a shout out if you're from South Carolina. But we may head down that way tomorrow. At some point, it'd be cool to up, you know, in different places around this area and so on. I don't know how far out we're going to go, but we're definitely going to take a trip to Atlanta. Atlanta is going to be like a weekend deal. I mean, maybe a long weekend because huge. I mean, it is a big freaking city, and you just cannot get there. And I don't know. Oh, Yvonne, is that the lady who $1 million a year? I'm not sure if it's the same one we're talking about, but there's a lady who started on eBay, and she, you know, her whole family works for her, and she does about 25 million gross a year on just eBay, which is crazy to think about. But and she does mainly clothes, guys. I don't think she does anything else. I think it's clothes. I mean, she's in different items and so on. So, you know, who knows? So, all right, well, let me get to results because that's what we are here to see, right? All right, let me set the share. Here we go. All right. And sharing. All right, guys, so here's the spreadsheet. We're going to go back in time. Today is Monday the 5th. Sunday, Saturday, Friday. Friday sold 6 pair for $142. A net of $56. Net per jean $932. Good sell-through. Saturday sold only 3 for $72.50. Thought that Saturday would be a little better, but I don't know. Not a lot of net there. $30, $9.75 per jean. Yesterday was a little better with 4 for $100 even. $41.90 net, $10.48 per jean. You know, I seem to see when I start doing these listings, it almost seems like my sales drop for a bit. And I'm not really sure if that's the case, but it does sort of seem that way. We had, I've actually listed 18 a day. I'll go ahead and put those in. But wait, that was not 18 a day. That was 8. Here's 18 a day. Hello. So I'm at 658. I think I've sold 2 today already. Actually 3, I believe. But so let's see what the graphs look like. Let me go over into the, the jeans by month. All right, so September so far, bought 22, spent 324, 67 photos, 55 listed. So I'm keeping up with current on the photos and listings pretty good. Only 3 stores, that'll increase tomorrow. Sold 17, 412 gross, net of about 166. Net percentage is right around that 40%, which is still good. Pretty happy with that. And you see my totals up here. You know, so far since we started, a total of net of 18, 47 gross, you know, pretty good, but we don't really have that many listings up yet. I mean, I expect my listings will end up being, you know, about a little over 8 times this by the time we're done. So theoretically, you know, in a less than 2 month period, we could have 8 times as much. So we could be doing a 32,000, or about 16,000 a month gross. Actually, a little more than that, actually, because it hasn't been 2 months yet. It's been about a month and 3/4 or so, a month and a half. So yeah, it could be doing $16,000 to $20,000 months in just jeans, which is pretty cool to think about, but we're not there yet. So let me show you the giraffes, as I like to call them, and share real quick. Anytime now. Okay. All right. So sell through and listings up. Listings up is as high as it's been, as you see, which is good. Sell through, nice, very gentle upslope. But, you know, I'm thinking when I looked back at last year, September was a pretty good month for jean sales. So I'm hoping that's going to happen again this year. We'll see. We're just a few days in, so it's really hard to tell yet. Also, that nice, gentle line up. As my listings go up, you know, listings are up too, so we'll see how it goes. All right, and I am back. Let's see. All right, what's everybody saying over here in the chat? Show the Monet. I guess you mean the money, Turtle. King Flip, discovered I have 2,000 unlisted inventory. Man, don't you hate that, King? Gosh. I mean, it's nice. It's cool you discovered it, but you're just thinking, wow, that's just been sitting there costing me, you know? Linda does a huge consignment biz. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to look up that story. I saw one on someone, but I don't know if it was Linda. It may have been someone different, but I'm pretty sure I saw 25 million a year, and that caught my attention. I'm like, wow, that's a big eBayer, you know? Vino says, I know you said you had a background poli-sci, but wow, do you have a statistics minor because you're amazing with the stats? I am not that amazing. Trust me. I did have to study research methods and some statistics for I have a master's in poli-sci, and to get that, you had to go through a course called research methods, and I hated it. I'll be completely honest with you. I hated it. I mean, I loved the professor I had. He was awesome, but the coursework itself was not my cup of tea, but I did pick up a couple things here and there. And, you know, numbers, I trust numbers more than I trust people in a lot of ways, because numbers don't really lie. You can make them say something different, but they don't really lie. They're just there, and you interpret them different ways. But ultimately, they're a reflection of where you've been usually, and they can sometimes tell you something about where you're going, but not always. They're more a reflection of where you've been and where you're at this moment. And always keep them in that context. Hello, Karin. She is out shopping, doing Labor Day type-ish things. But eventually she'll get here and get back to work. She'll get me for just saying that. Greener pasture statistics bring back bad memories from my engineering. Yeah. I mean, statistics are necessary, a necessary evil in the world. But, you know, the big thing the reseller community, a lot of people say is, oh, well, people talk a good game and they do this, they do that, but they don't show you their numbers. Well, that's true. You know, and I don't mind sharing my gene numbers and so on with you guys. I'm not going to share every number that I do in my entire business, because I just don't think that it's necessary, first of all. And second of all, I think it's one of these things where even if I did show you every single number for my business down to the just penny of everything that I did, there's still people who don't believe you. And there's still people, and even if they believe you, they're going to criticize you. Like, you gain nothing by opening yourself up in every way. So that's why I'm doing this challenge. I'm like, all right, I'm primarily a gene seller on eBay. Let's do a challenge. I'll show everybody what I'm doing. and then they can make their own decisions, you know. And I don't think my numbers show anything crazy. You know, some of the other guys in here who sell jeans would tell you, I'm coming on talking about with, you know, 600 plus listings that I'm selling 4 to 6 to 7 jeans a day. That's not crazy. That's pretty normal. So, you know, if anybody says, well, you should have shared this or you should have done that. Okay. You know, you're definitely entitled to your opinion, but I've chosen to do it this way and I'm comfortable with it. And you guys seem to enjoy it. And I get a lot of great feedback about these shows. I mean, I get emails and I get other private messages, and it really is awesome to hear. You know, it lets me know if I'm doing it right or not, and I do appreciate it. And I'm trying to be, you know, as transparent as I can be, but oh, there went the ka-ching. Love that sound. I think I just listed those. That's always nice when you just list something and it sells, right? Levi's, what were those? Levi's Curvy, size 14M. There you go. There's your bolo of the day. They don't have the Levi's number on them. I don't think they had one, but they were size 14 Levi's. Yeah, Karen made an interesting point about Levi's today as well. She said, you know, last year you weren't selling as many Levi's at this time. I wonder if, since we've incorporated so much more of those into our model, how that's going to affect our results. And I'm sure it will. But, you know, what it'll do, I don't know. But you can't really, well, I won't say you can't. It's difficult to be a jean reseller and not sell Levi's. I mean, it's just the most popular brand. You know, so it'd be like, you know, selling cell phones and not selling Apples. You know, or iPhones, you know, I don't know. I mean, you could do it, but you're hurting yourself, I think, in a lot of ways if you do. Maybe the iPhone wasn't the best example, but anyway, so Levi's are a part of it. And, you know, I've sold tons of them. I am putting together that sell-through. I spent a little more time on that today. I just been putting it off. The weekends, I have a lot of volunteer stuff that I do and so on. And, you know, I can't give as much time to business right now on the weekends as I probably should, but that's going to be changing in the next few weeks, thankfully. So I will have a little more time, but I am putting together that, you know, that kind of, I don't know if chart's the right word, but just a spreadsheet that tells you, all right, this brand has this sell through, you bought this many, you've paid this amount, you've sold them for this amount, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that will tell us something. I'm not there yet with it. I've got that project going. I've got my website going, you know, so there's a lot of projects going, a lot of irons in the fire. So it's a lot to keep track of, but I love it. Keeps me busy, keeps me going. And I love you guys too for just being part of this community. So thank you for that. Truly, thank you for that. All right. Any other questions or comments on the day? Jen says she's grateful for the numbers. Well, you are very welcome. They are what they are. And I do try to give you guys as much as I can with that. All right. So, okay. Well, it's not going to be too long of a show today because that's really kind of all I had. I got to get back to listing. I don't know what you guys are doing. You're probably goofing off on the holidays. So get back to work, people. Now, I'm just kidding. If you're taking the day off, enjoy it. You've earned it. You know, let it recharge you. And, you know, what does Turtle say here? Just the experiment numbers. The rest is yours and Karen's personal business. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Turtle. You hit the nail on the head. It truly is. You're right. So, but, you know, I like to share with you guys and we'll see where it goes. We're having fun. I hope you are. And I'm going to get off here in just a minute. But before I do, as always, if you guys have comments, you know, leave me a comment. Please hit the like button on the way out. Or if you're watching this later, hit the like button as you're watching. If you're enjoying the content, lets me know I'm doing a good job. Lets YouTube know I'm doing a good job. And I really do appreciate it. And also subscribe if you want to get updates to, when the next video has come out. I will have some other ones coming out, not just these vlogs. I do promise, and I will do it. It's just crazy. Tacey says, did you see how to check and see if your listings are mobile friendly? Yes, and I do, and that's a great point, Tacey. You absolutely have to make sure they are mobile friendly, because so many people are buying items off of mobile now. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, look, that's going to do it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your Labor Day and you enjoy your time with family or friends or whatever it is you're doing today, or if you're working. Hey, I hope it's productive for you and you and increase your productivity and help your business out. All right, guys. So I will see you very soon. And as always, this is Prof Sales saying good sales to you.